Boys,
What's happening?
guess who got the vaccine?
Wait. Not you.
I know you. I know something different. You know, I look. You know, got the haircut.
Yeah, we noticed some changes, but that wasn't one of them.
But guess who got the vaccine?
Are you kidding me? Did you get the vaccine?
No, I didn't get that vaccine, but OJ got the vaccine, guys. OJ, our homeboy, OJ got the vaccine. Can you believe it? Of all people in this world to get the vaccine before anybody else. I know we talked about smokers last week. OJ, the man, the myth, the murderer, OJ.
Oh, that is a brilliant shirt.
Dan got merch.
Let me forget that one.
2021 was a bad year, but OJ got the vaccine.
Gotta protect him. Gotta keep him. Come on. Protect the juice. That's crazy, man.
So the reason I bring this up is because we talked so much about smokers last week and lying. And I'm like, who was the person who had to give OJ the vaccine? Because if I'm in line and there's people coming and it's like, okay, all right, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, go for it. And then you see OJ. No. Stopped. Got to stop the line right there.
Sorry, you got to get to the back of the line and like 300 billion people behind, in the way back. You're way at the back there. Oh, come on. What a fantastic world that we live in, that OJ is getting the vaccine before everybody else.
Everybody else.
How do you
feel, Chris?
I hate everything so much. I hate everything. I promise you, and this is 100% selfish. I promise you, I'm going to be like the last person to get this damn vaccine because I took care of myself for 34 years and I'm going to have to wait to be the last person. OJ, are you kidding me? This is just ridiculous. Because there's going to be so many more of those that happen where, it's not going to be like to OJ's level, but you're going to find out that so-and-so's friend who's like 24 snuck in a line and their parents couldn't show up. So he took it. Now he got the vac. And this stuff's going to happen so much over the next 3 or 4 months. And it's going to be aggravating to no end.
But Dan, here's a question actually for both of you, because there's a big story. So Soul Cycle, a lady who teaches at Soul Cycle, she considers herself an educator, got the vaccine.
Well, if that's the case, I'm a coach. So am I not an educator?
See,
and we gather here every week and I educate the two of you.
Yeah.
So,
well, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Okay. So that works, Chris. And now Dan, my realtor, the person who helped us buy this house.
Yes.
He got the vaccine.
All right.
Do you have your license? Do you?
If I'm going to renew it just for that, if that's unbelievable.
Because he has to go in he has to go in houses and be around all these people. And it's like, they still want people to buy houses. They want people not to buy houses and stuff like that. So he has to do it. So he's essential. He got the vaccine. All
right. I'm dusting that bad boy off. We're getting back into it. Yeah. I'm getting front of the line. Let's go.
See?
Smoking, whatever. I'll throw that on there as well. Maybe I can jump a couple more spots above. I thought it was more we educate people on the podcast as a group collectively. I thought Chris was looking out for the greater good.
No.
I
told you at the beginning of that, this is a selfish endeavor. I don't care. I need this vaccine. I just want to go outside. I want to go do stuff again. I'm so bored.
Wow. Well, we have our in. Thanks for the help, Dee. Now that we know we have a path. OJ has a path.
Go back to OJ. I still don't understand. What did he do? Is he in that age bracket?
Yeah, he's just old. He's just old. Yeah, he's just old and was able to get it.
Is he an educator because he does videos on Twitter?
It's possible. Up, he can educate people on how to
Twitter
get away with stuff.
It's amazing.
But yeah, he did a video. Just think about this, because there have been a lot of people posting when they get the vaccine, and because it's basically say the vaccine's okay. I did it. You should go get it. He did one like that, like he was an influencer
for like health and safety. Okay, thanks, Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, if Juice says it's okay.
Hey, he says it's fine. He looks good. He's healthy. It's fine.
Oh man. Well, boys, I needed to enlighten you with that because OJ is friend of the program. Unfortunately.
Question mark? Yes, kind of.
He won a brunchy.
He did.
He did. He did win a brunchy.
He didn't know it, but he won one.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, boys, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. Today, we're going to be talking a lot of Super Bowl prop bets, give our thoughts on the Super Bowl and what we're going to be eating and stuff like that. Also, we're talking Jared Goff, who has to move from LA to Detroit, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to do our first ever Brunch Court, because there's someone taking Subway to court over a certain food that they serve. So we're going to be talking about that, what we're listening to. And right now, boys, I need this because we are still not unpacked yet. Moving 4 people, man. It's wild. But anyways, Brews Day. Let's get into it. I might start drinking right now.
Do you want to start this week?
Yeah.
DJ?
I'm going to start this week. Here's why. Actually, there's 2 reasons. One, still not unpacked yet. Moving a family of 4 when 2 of the people can't move anything sucks, right? Because they have so much stuff. Those 2 kids have so much stuff, and they can barely, Saoirse can barely speak English. Major can't speak at all. They can't do anything. So it's just me and Siobhan during COVID trying to make this thing happen. And we've done an okay job, but not the greatest job. So that's the first reason. Second reason why I need this brew today is because I really want to go on vacation. And this brew I drank in Hawaii, Hanalei Island IPA.
Ooh.
It's got grapefruit, passion fruit, orange, guava, all the good stuff. Hanalei Island IPA. I love this stuff. And I was in the aisle again, I need to go on vacation. This is going to be a theme probably for the rest of the year. Every beer is going to be brewed in a place I need to go, or just a place I dream about every day. Cheers.
Wow.
That's
Great pick there. That sounds amazing.
That is a smart pick. And I think about vacation all the time. Specifically, I think about Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, probably daily. Probably
God.
daily.
I love
Is
Hawaii.
that Kona? Is that the
where we at?
brewing company? Is it Kona?
Yeah, Kona up top. Kona.
Yeah. That's good. That's all I drank last time I was in Hawaii. It was good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, I'll go next. I did pick up beer this week, guys.
All right, let's go.
I have Cinderland's Fillmore IPA, and I'm excited. I know a fact about this beer, okay, and it's pretty bougie. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's brewed with something called cashmere hops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Hops.
Fancy.
So that's the fact. But yeah, so that's what I'm drinking today.
First sip analysis. Give it to us. Break it down.
Nice.
It's
one bite. Everybody knows the rules. No,
why am I the one that always gets this? Why do we make Didi do that? Okay, both me and Didi don't know.
He at least explained some of the the fruits and things like that was brewed with, so I can at least grasp something there. But the hops, that's one thing. But give me levels of bitterness. Is what do you taste?
It is a little bitter, actually. So I had one of these over the weekend when I picked it up. And for me, it's an easy drinker because it's 6.4 ABV. It's not too crazy, but it is more on the bitter side, which I know for some people that's not their thing with IPAs. I tend to I feel like, oh, here's maybe a t-shirt. The bitter, the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I dig that.
Yeah. So the bitter, the better. Brews Day. That's how I feel about this IPA. Thank you for pushing me this week, Dan.
See?
You see what happens? You got to
gold
get
out of
outside
that.
of your comfort zone.
Right.
Thanks, Cinderlands. The
Yes.
bitter, the better. Happy Brews Day.
Happy Brews Day. Did you happen to pick up the double bubbly while you were there?
I did not. No, this is the only one I got.
Okay. They have they unleashed their version of the mimosa beer, and inquiring minds wanted to know. For this week, I'm glad. I was afraid when you said you went on a beer run, you were going to take one of the ones that I suggested for you last week, and that's what I have here for us today. A brewing company that, Chris, you featured many a time, and I don't think I have yet. Our good friends at Hitchhiker.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Germany.
Our good friends Germany and their beer. It's good. And it tastes like beer. That's all. Another great shirt. Yes, our friends at Hitchhiker, Pittsburgh-based brewery, released a triple thick, and that is their chocolate and vanilla milkshake stout. Here she is, right here, thick with 3 C's, if you will. This beer is wonderful. It really is. It's a 9%, so this is an afternoon delight plus probably a little bit of a dessert later, to be honest with you. Nothing like a good mid-afternoon stout. But it is really nice. The one thing about stouts is there's a dominant flavor because of the grist, right? It's either it's often chocolate, it's coffee, or it's kind of like a roastiness, not necessarily a coffee flavor, but like a strong roasty flavor. So a lot of breweries, I find, struggle when you advertise something as like all these different ingredients and flavors, and they're super subtle because that dominant flavor just overpowers them. So when they can do it right, it's phenomenal. This is done right. There's a lot of chocolate here, not overpowering amount of vanilla, and it's actually a little boozy, which was a surprise to me. A little bit boozy on this, but it's a nice surprise. The triple thick chocolate and vanilla milkshake stout from good friends at Hitchhiker. Delicious, delicious one for you for Brews Day.
Very nice. I'm not surprised that Hitchhiker did it well. They tend to do that.
They do. They're very great at it, and they deserve props for this one. First time release on this, and it's wonderful.
Wipe Me Down started playing in my head because you said Lil Boozy, and I thought it was Little Boosie. So now I've got like shoulders, chest, pants, shoes in my head right now. So
preview to the end of the show, and we'll talk about
seriously.
what Dee Dee's listening to.
Yeah, we just added, Wipe Me Down is now going to be on the playlist.
Depending on how much of this I drink, you never know.
Well, boys, cheers. First Brews Day of February. Big cheers.
Yes,
big cheers.
Big old cheers.
Happy Brews Day.
Well, boys, let's get it off our chest. Chris, get it off your chest, sir.
Today is a big day in American history, boys. I don't know if you heard, but at long last, our national nightmare is over. EA Sports is bringing back their college football video game. I have to tell you both that at the beginning of quarantine, all the way back in March, almost an entire year now, I made some emotional purchases because I was downright scared about what I would do with my time. The one that sticks out as probably the worst purchase because of how little I've used it is I bought an Xbox. Remember we talked about video games way back? Did not play that very much because then like I bought it and they're like, no, we're going to play football this year. And then I never used it. But that's all turning around now because there's going to be an NCAA college football video game coming out. I am very, very excited. The circles that I run in on the internet are very college football heavy. So it was a lot of fun today to see the timeline. So excited. And group texts with my friends that are all excited about it. It made me wonder, like, what other video game like have they held back from people that would warrant such or elicit such like a huge eruption of like positive energy when they announced that it was, I mean, every year people have been begging for this game. I think it's been since like 2013 or 2014 since they actually have had a video game out. And Yeah, long awaited, but I'm super pumped. Not only because I'll get to use my Xbox, but because I loved that football game. Like I have dynasties saved on my PlayStation 2 that I haven't used in a long time that were so much fun. And yeah, like I said, it's a great day. It's a great day in American history. And mark it down, February 2nd, 2021. That's when things started to turn around.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is a great day. You're right, Chris. We've played this video game for years with friends on Dynasty mode and things like that. And they've all turned to other games like shooter games and whatever the kids play, Halos and that. And no, I've always been, it's been the college football's been, NCAA football has been one of the greatest video games in the history of video games. The only thing that I could think that elicited a similar response was like when Tony Hawk re-released his video game. What was that, last year, maybe a year and a half ago, where people were freaking out. But you're right. There's a lot of positive energy around it. And you have guys like Darren Ravel, who unfortunately provide some of the bad news, where like there's not going to be zero player likeness, and you won't even have anybody that is corresponds to like a team's actual ability and their overall scores and their players and things like that. But I don't think people really care at this point. It's like, we don't need that right now, and we are not going to complain about it when it gets released. But yes, a wonderful day to have that back in our world in the future.
Okay,
That's
see, that's
Yeah, go ahead,
what I was
Didi.
going to ask. That's what I was about to ask. Was like, what is this game going to look like? Because I know the whole reason why they shut the game down is because, I loved playing with Pat White and Steve Slayton, even though they were 5 and 10, but I knew who they were, and
Right.
they weren't getting paid for that. So, how is that? What is that going to look like? Is it just going to be like Alabama's just going to have a bunch of good dudes, I guess? Or like,
the internet will fix that. The internet will fix that, because you know how like in Madden, you can like, when you're going into a draft class, you can download like what the actual draft class is going to be and just like pull that into the game, so you can draft the actual players. So the internet's going to fix that, and somebody with a lot of time is going to create every player on every team, and it'll probably be as easy as downloading it and pulling it in.
See, Darren Ravel, big bummer again with that. He said that's going to happen, and then it's going to get tied up in a lawsuit with EA Sports and not going to be able to get it released.
They're doing it now. They're doing it right now.
So I don't know what it'll eventually, because we still I have a little bit of ways to go before this actually comes out. But I think even if it's a bunch of generic football players, where at least the team represents the similar skill set, and you can still even adjust those things manually. Even if it may not be, you could adjust the number and the score and things like the player and whatnot, maybe individually. But I think people are just excited to have it back.
Because you can take Madden right now and like I don't know what it's called, like download a patch or something like that. Like you can convert all the NFL teams to college teams right now. You only get 32 teams though, so it's not like you get every college football team. So
it's like the playoff, basically. You only get 32 to choose from, because nobody outside of those two teams, those 5, can make the playoff. We're not going to go down that road.
And don't get me started.
Excited to have it back.
Well, Dan, get it off your chest. What's going on in your mind?
Well, I'm going to take it back to Oj a little bit.
Okay, let's go. Let's go back to OJ.
And just thoughts on that in general. I am sick and tired of seeing close-up images of somebody's arm getting stuck with a needle, or just the needle. Okay, we've seen it. We get it. Enough. It's everywhere. Every vaccine-related story, every news outlet in person goes with the same type of photo: real close-up image of a needle, or real close-up image of somebody getting the needle in their arm. Let's back it up a little bit, please. And I'm not like super terrified of needles. I'm not going to be afraid to get this vaccine and other shots and things like that before. No, it's not pleasant, but like, let's go. But I don't need it in my face all the time. Just use something different. Use the liquid, actual vaccine bottle. Give me something like that. Give me the name of the company. Give me a further shot away of somebody getting the vaccine, or maybe it's like over the other shoulder. So you can just see there's something going on there, but you don't have to see insertion. I don't need that all the time. It's like whenever there's a new bug discovered and they had this like close up image of the bug in its eyes under like a microscope. It's like, who's asking for that? We don't need this. Oh, the cicadas are back. Here's one. Like, let's settle down with the zoom ins and the close ups of all these nasty ass gross images. We don't need them. Nobody wants them. Scale it back. Cameras are getting more and more high def. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Just had to get that off my chest. I don't want to see it anymore. Thank you.
I'll tell you, as a openly squeamish person, I am with you. I haven't noticed too much of that, but I'm glad because I feel like I can pretty vividly picture exactly what you're saying, and I know what you mean when it's like the local news only. Like, what type of B-roll do they have for shots?
Right.
It's all the same.
Right in the arm. There it is. It's like, come on. Can we back up, please? We get it.
Yeah. Yeah, every day it is just footage of the drive-up sites, like the way, like I've seen people get shot in the arm while sitting there. I've been seeing people shot in the arm going through their cars with the drive-through. It's like bam, bam, bam. No, it does get to a point where you're just like, we're literally, it's a different voiceover, but it's the same stuff every single day. And I got friends who do news. Right. I know that's what people think. I don't know how that drives up ratings or how people, I don't know what that does for people that makes them say, you know what, we need to do more vaccine coverage every single day. I think, because don't you just want to know when you can get it? Because that's all I want to know. I'm just like, all right, when can people between this age and this age get it? And then that's all I really want to know. And I feel like that's all my parents want to know. I feel like that's all anybody really wants to know. I don't need to see like Joe Schmo 88-year-old getting his vaccine. I don't need to see it.
I felt like that since all of this stuff started. Like after the first 2 weeks, I've just been like, okay, just tell me when I'm going to get the shot. I don't need to know or see all of this stuff every day. It's too much.
Yeah. Just too much of the zoom ins, the close ups, the needles, the insertions, the bugs, like bed bugs. That's another one. Like, you know how small bed bugs are? They're so hard to see. And it's like when a hotel has a breakout of bed bugs, they like show you like bed bugs like straight up in their face and like you could see their eyes. It's like, show a picture of the bed, something else, please. So I'm hoping somebody out there will hear my plea and we can ease up on that stuff a little bit.
Show a picture of the bed. I like it.
That plus the amount of times you said insertion during that segment.
I know. Like I was bordering on. Yeah, I thought of that myself. I'm like, oh boy. Another word here. I got thesaurus. But Didi, what's on your chest this week?
Why do people still do Groundhog's Day? What the hell is this? It's the dumbest thing in the world. I understand back in the 1700s, whenever the hell this shit started, and somebody was like, some genius just decided to scam people and say that, oh, we're gonna get 6 more weeks of winter because the groundhog did this. But why in 2021, when we can look on our phones and see the forecast like a month out, and it's pretty much dead on, right? Why do we care what a groundhog does? And why do we do this every single year, even during a pandemic? This should have been the year where it was like, okay, the people of whatever that town is in Pennsylvania.
Punxsutawney, come on, baby.
Wait, it's Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania? That's what it's called?
I've been there, and it's wild.
You've been there for Groundhog's Day?
No.
Oh, because I've heard it actually is wild on Groundhog's Day.
On Groundhog's Day, it is, but it is unbelievable. The town is based around that one day and that one road all year long.
Why? Why do we do this? Why? Like, because every day, like all over the reports, all over the news this morning, because I'm up at 7 o'clock, it was like Groundhog's Day, Groundhog Day, Groundhog Day. And I'm like, what? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? It makes no sense. No sense. Technology is just too good for us to care about what a groundhog does and actually say, all right, we're going to listen to that. It's like 6 more weeks of winter. I'm like, yeah, it's snowing outside. Good job, groundhog. I don't know. This is dumb.
First of all, his name is Phil. Not Groundhog.
Respect, Didi. Come on.
Yeah, respect on Phil. And it's interesting. He's over. Yeah, you're right. I've been doing this a long time, and most of the time, he declares 6 more weeks of winter in the first week of February, which is kind of like, yeah, no shit. Like, it's not going to be spring in February. This isn't some remarkable prediction, which I guess why more often than not, it's 6 more weeks of winter. But they claim he's 50% right. Is that good? I don't know. Sometimes it's like, well, 50-50 shot, but I'm like, it should be better than that, right?
Well,
or maybe
put it this way. If you had to study for a test and it was all true, false, and it was like 20 questions and you ended up with 50%, would you feel good about that score?
No, not if I studied. But what if I didn't study? What if I'd
like to think the groundhog is studying.
I don't think he is. I think he's lounging around.
Here's the thing. I'm so glad, Didi, that you brought this up. I thought about maybe doing this one. Like today, I woke up, I saw like those 15 weird dudes huddled around a groundhog, and I was like, oh, it's that thing again. And I went online to actually, like, I Google searched, like, why is this happening? Like, why do we do this? And all of the search results go back to the official Groundhog's Day website, which basically laughs at you in the face. It's just like all this made up stuff. Like they don't even there's like a FAQ. Yeah, I read a Groundhog's Day FAQ today. Wow. Okay. It was a banner day in the Gates household. The FAQ is like, it's all crap. Like they don't even take it seriously. And I want to know, and I couldn't find out the information. I do not like this tradition at all. I don't like it.
You did say you were busy today. That makes sense.
I was combing the internet for this information.
Groundhog's Day started in 1887.
That's a long time.
1887.
Well, PETA wants to shut it down, so you can be Team PETA.
Oh my God. PETA. I hate PETA.
That's another hit from Didi's Twitter account. If you ever want, I love Didi's tweets.
So what do you want? You Team PETA, or you want the groundhog to live on forever? Show us that shadow. Hit 50% from the free throw line.
That's the thing. If you go on the website, it's like, how many groundhogs have been Phil? And they're like, there's only one Phil. Like, they don't even tell you. I was so frustrated.
Wait, there's not. See, that's just annoying, because there's not just, we know you switch out the groundhogs. You know, it's just like SeaWorld, Shamu. We know there's more Shamus. Like, there's not just one Shamu. Like, we know we're on like Shamu the 57th at this point.
Right.
But like, don't lie to us. There's not one groundhog.
That's a good point.
Stupid. Yeah. Groundhog's Day. Shut it down. Sorry, Dan, and your friend Phil. Shut it down. All right. Well, boys, let's get into the main course. Actually, before we get to the main course, if you've listened to this for 28 minutes, Dan, tell everybody where they should find the Brunch Breakdown.
I love it. I love that we throw this promo in anywhere now, so you can't even avoid it. It's anywhere in every episode. Of course, you can find the Brunch Breakdown anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, each and every Wednesday, anywhere that you listen. Hit that subscribe button. Let those episodes come to you every Wednesday morning. And of course, you can find the full video episode released Wednesday afternoon as well on our YouTube page, as well as our Facebook page. Those premiere around noon Eastern and available on demand anytime you'd like to watch the full video episodes. And of course, you can find us anywhere on social media at Facebook, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram at Brunch Breakdown. And while you're there, check out a good friend of the program, Brendan, in the Legend Status podcast. He's at Legend Status Pod. Check his episodes out every Tuesday. So enjoy.
Boys, a little bit of breaking news here coming from my wife. Sent me a text and said, you can now share Amazon accounts. It is now, there's now Amazon family accounts So, for those of you who have to go sign up for the free trial in December, so your wife, your girlfriend, whomever doesn't know what you're getting them for Christmas, now you can share Amazon accounts. There's family accounts for Amazon.
Oh, I love it. Jeff Bezos steps down and all of a sudden now we can open up the family account game. I love it.
Yes. No
Good
need for
breaking
the
news.
separate accounts.
Thank you. Finally.
Well, let's get into the main course. Boys, prop bets. Dan, you sent us a bunch. Prop bets for the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. It's Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. I feel like they're the only two people playing in the Super Bowl because that's all I've heard about, which I don't have that much of a problem with, but it's also just like, can we get another story? Like,
exactly.
I'm sitting at home, like waiting for some kind of content, but then it's like, there's no media day this year. There's just like kind of a bunch of nothing this year, except Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, who won't even be on the field at the same time.
I know that's the thing, right? I think a lot of people are happy with the teams that are in the game, but it gets old very quickly when that's the only story that's driving it. And hopefully it's the last time we have to see these two play each other. But yeah, it would be nice if we got a little bit of focus maybe somewhere else this week. It's been a long 2 weeks between games. Give us something else. Give us something else to work with.
I knew it was a slow Super Bowl news week when I saw it today on SportsCenter while I was lifting. The topic of who's a slower quarterback, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Oh,
that sucks.
That's
Yikes.
Terrible.
Yeah. Least hyped Super Bowl ever.
Did they do a sports science with like?
No, they were just like,
animals?
Yeah.
Let's go to Stephen A and get his point. Like, it was so stupid.
Yikes. Yeah.
And Stephen A was there like all serious, like, all right, I'm going to tell you who's slower.
No, Peyton Manning, if you guys remember Peyton Manning, he just was never that fast. He was never that fast.
But Tom Brady, I've taken showers with Tom Brady. I'm a personal friend of Tom Brady, and I know Tom Brady's fast.
Have you seen that boy's calves?
God. Well, let's get to something that's going to be fun on Super Bowl Sunday, which is the prop bets. Dan, you gave us a bunch of them. Let's go through them right now.
Let's go through some of these, unique and fun prop bets to maybe make the game. These are all prop bets that you can legitimately bet on, by the way. We didn't come up with these. These are legit Vegas prop bets that you can spend money and bet on, okay? So first one, how many commercials will have a dog in it? Gentlemen, the over-under is set at 4.5.
See, that's what I need. Because when you sent these over, I was like, is this like can we have like a multiple choice test or something? Because when you just say, how many commercials will have a dog in it? You know how many commercials run during this damn event? I have no idea. So 4.5 is the over-under?
That's the over-under is 4.5.
I'm going over.
Over.
The reason I'm going over is because these commercials shot during COVID. It's going to be a lot of at-home commercials.
Yeah.
A lot of commercials focusing on people at home, and dogs are at the house, and that's what I'm going for. Over.
That's a good call. I also feel like there's typically a dog presence in some beer commercials for whatever reason.
That's fair.
Who knows? PetSmart may have picked up an ad here or there, I'm going to go over. I think I like that pick, Didi. I'm going to go over.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. And we're going to break down the best and the worst of the commercials next week. It'll be a fantastic episode. But a lot of companies that traditionally advertise in the Super Bowl have pulled out. And they're spending their money on COVID-related things to help the public, which is a great gesture on their part, but it could also reduce the quality of the commercials on Sunday, depending on, maybe it makes them more entertaining because there's a more chance for those smaller companies to get in. So that's going to be fascinating to see. I think actually, Chris, you mentioned beer commercials. I think Budweiser is not going to run an ad this year.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is for the first time in who knows how long. But I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under, but I think it's going to be around that 4. I think it's going to be teetering right around 4, but give me the under on the 4.5 on dogs in commercials. So that's your first one. That's an interesting one, boys. I guess we're going to have to keep track of these now.
Yeah. Every time I see a dog, I'm just like, dog. Just going to point them out.
We'll just
that's
send
a good one.
Group text, dog. Next prop bet on the list here. I love this one so much. Coach to have nostrils seen first during the game. So between Bruce Arians and Andy Reid, who will have their nostrils shown first? And it is during the game, not pregame. Who do you guys think is the favorite here? Who do you think is more likely based on these odds?
What? So this is specific. It's specific to the head coaches. It could
Specific to the head coaches, Andy Reid or Bruce Arians.
Doesn't Andy Reid just wear the face shield?
He's done both.
He's done both.
He's done both, and he's done like both, like the mask and
the shield. Yeah,
and the shield.
Pretty intense with it.
Doubled it up.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's a game breaker right there. What is Andy Reid's fashion choice for the game?
My money's on Bruce Arians just because Andy Reid has been kind of the spokesman for COVID. He's been the guy. You know, I'm not sure. I've seen more of Andy Reid this season than I have Bruce Arians, even though I've watched a lot of Tampa Bay, but not exactly showing Bruce Arians on the sideline the way they do Andy Reid. So I'm going with him just because I've seen Andy Reid's work. His mask work is good.
Yeah. Andy Reid, Bruce Arians is most likely based on the odds. Arians is at a minus 250 and Reid is at a plus 150. And I agree with you, Didi. I think I would put the money on Arians because of Andy Reid. And if you've noticed Andy Reid's, the actual mask that he now uses is like really deep in terms of how far it gets away from your mouth. So there's plenty of oxygen room in there. It's not up against the face. It's like a D cup off a bra just right on his muzzle. And they put some Chiefs stuff on it that they found in Joanne Fabrics. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. I'm telling you, look out for it. And it never comes off. It never comes off. But the face shield is a game changer. And I could see Bruce pulling that thing off his face a little bit and we get a little nose goes. So I go Arians. Chris, after that, who you got?
Well, this is just making me realize that the two of all the coaches in the NFL that we've witnessed try and protect themselves and others with masking it up, Bruce Arians and
Andy
Reid are like the two most ridiculous coaches in terms of what they look like on the sideline. What has Bruce Arians been doing lately with like the sling across his body? And it looks like he has like, I don't even know how to describe it. That there's like a battery pack and like a PA remote control. And like, he looks like he's like suiting up to like be a video game character or something. It looks ridiculous.
That's true.
But I'm gonna go Andy Reid.
Okay.
See, as we've talked this through, I'm kind of picturing him with the mask, and I feel like he does not have control of that situation at all.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We shall see.
It's gonna slide down. I love it. The D cup will fall.
Jeez.
Shirt.
Unbelievable.
Oh, the D cup will fall. I can't wait to get that text on Sunday because I know I'm going to forget about this. And then one of you guys is going to remember. And you're gonna be watching it as soon as it starts. Like, D cup, Andy Reid.
D cup. I see a nose out of that D cup.
I love it.
All right. On to the next one. And this is based on the announcing and our wonderful friends at CBS, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. What will be said first during the broadcast of the game? COVID or pandemic? COVID is the more likely of the two at minus 500. Pandemic is at a plus 300. Boys, COVID or pandemic? What's coming out first?
I would go pandemic. I feel like because Jim Nantz is on the call, correct? That's what you said?
Mhm.
Jim Nantz, like you've heard him start events, right? Like when he starts Augusta, he doesn't shorten, he doesn't like worry about word count. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to go for the shorter option. He's going to build it all out for you. And so I think he's going to say like the Super Bowl in this year of the pandemic. I think he's going full pandemic.
This is tough because there are two ways this could go, right? Like they're either going to start it like second word is going to be pandemic, or the first thing that he's going to talk about is that there are fans there, but they're like they're first responders and stuff, and he's going to say COVID if talking about the first responders first. I think, anyways. But man, that's tough.
So yeah,
I think I'm leaning pandemic though.
There is that chance for like COVID-19 pandemic.
Ooh, where's the money go then? That's a good one. That's a good point.
COVID-19.
Yeah, got to go to COVID. Go to COVID then, I guess at that point. You're right, Didi. I was trying to think of how, because I was fully agreeing with Chris was saying, especially with Jim Nantz. My money's on pandemic, but there is certainly that opportunity where COVID could be first if he's referring to something, if they start with something like that. So we're all taking the quote unquote underdog with pandemic being said first on that prop bet. Next one, let's get into the halftime show a little bit here. Color of the weekend's first jacket. Regard whether he has a wardrobe change or not, we're not sure, but color of the weekend's first jacket when he first appears during halftime. I'll read these in order of favorite or most likely to least likely. Okay. Most likely betting odds, black. Second is red, followed by blue and white, which are tied, and then purple. So again, in order of favorite to least favorite, black, red, blue, white, purple. Didi, what are you going with here?
It's going to be red and black, but it's going to be mostly red. I think you're going to see both colors. It's going to be red and black. It just goes with the theme of what he's been doing this whole year. But I think it's going to be red and black, mainly because you see him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to stand out. It's going to be a mostly red jacket. So red, where I'm going.
Chris, where are you leaning?
So jackets are his thing? Is that he wears a lot of jackets?
It's more like the color scheme of what he's been going through. And it's been like a red and black, like the album cover was like black and the red colors. And he's been doing lots of things with red and black and red. That's what it's been.
And usually that's there's like a suit jacket that he's wearing. That's kind of those are kind of the consistent parts of this new album era.
Understood. I think if I remember correctly, there's been a commercial running on TV where he like pulls it into a parking lot in a car. And I think in that commercial, he's wearing a black jacket.
That's correct.
So I'll go with black.
All right.
Good one. Good, interesting point. Good callback there. I lean red as well. Both teams are red. Red makes him stick out. Red's kind of been that theme for this album, like you said, Didi. So I kind of lean red on that as well. That goes into the next prop bet, which is a little bit more interesting. If you've been following what the weekend's been doing over the course of the past couple of months in this whole awareness for drunk driving, right? And the bandages on his face, and then like the fake plastic surgery that he got that freaked everybody out. Will The Weeknd appear with bandages on his head? No is a minus 1,500. Yes is a plus 1,600. So money's going more than likely no, but what do you guys think? Any chance that we see the bandages as part of this like overlying theme that picks back up?
I hope so. I want the Super Bowl halftime show to be weird. It's the weekend. I want it to be weird. I want people to be I want my mom to call me after the Super Bowl halftime show and be like, what the hell was that? They're like, I like that Blinding Light song. Like, I like that Can't Feel My Face song, but I don't know what was going on stage and on my screen. because it's it's an interesting year because it's like he's going to be at the stadium, of course, but like I feel like they probably planned this show thinking that no one was going to be there, so they might have more room to do some weirder stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I just want it to be weird. I hope he has bandages all over his face. I hope he has the weird plastic surgery during, like he does in the Save Your Tears video, which is awesome if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I hope so.
What do you think there, Chris?
I was not familiar with any of that, but I'll go with yes.
I'm gonna go. See, I don't know if he will, but I'm gonna say yes, but with a little bit of a caveat where we're not actually seeing them on his face, but maybe it's behind a curtain with a light on it, so you're seeing like the shadow, and then maybe you're seeing him rip it off, and then that comes down, and then you see him, and he's doesn't have the bandages on, or maybe it's part of like a video package, like you said, Didi. They can get away with a lot more now that it won't be all live right there in the stadium. Because there won't be so many fans there. So I think he will have it at some point, but maybe not necessarily on stage during a performance or something like that. It's going to be in some sort of package or clip that way. 2 more to go here, boys. Back to the announcers. Start with this one. Good friend Tony Romo, good friend of the program. How many times will Tony Romo mention his kids? The over-under set at 1/2. 1/2. So it's a low over under 0.5 times. So if he mentions it once and you get the over, that's all you need is a one-time mention.
Is that his thing? Does he do that?
He doesn't not do it. He doesn't not do it, but it's definitely a definite possibility, especially when he knows the spotlight's on him. He likes to talk about his kids.
Well, if you're giving me the odds where 1 takes it, then I'm going to go 1.
Yeah, he does, because Patrick Mahomes is quarterbacking, and he's going to mention his kids liking Patrick Mahomes or something. There's an easy in there at the beginning of this to talk about like his kids, or maybe there's a Tom Brady story with his kids, like there was with Tom Brady and Drew Brees' kids after that game. That was like a lot of people talked about that. So there's chances for him to throw in my kids. So yeah.
I think that's solid.
I'm going with yes too. If it all takes is 1 to make that money, give it to me. I'm putting money down on yes all day. Last one, which I wanted to do a little bit more research on this, but I didn't care enough about Tony Romo. How many times will kindergarten be said? Are his kids in kindergarten? Why are we talking about kindergarten during the game? And that over-under is also set at 0.5.
I don't know. That must be his thing, I guess, if that's what they're saying. I don't know. I know nothing about that.
I was trying to think of another connection besides maybe his kids are in kindergarten, but I don't recall hearing it for any other reason.
I was trying to think about this one too, like, because I know, like, for games with Patrick Mahomes, like, often Patrick Mahomes gets brought up like about when he was a little kid. Because was
he in kindergarten when Tom won his first Super Bowl or something, or when Tom entered the league?
Could be that too. Yeah.
Ooh, that could be.
Tom is like 43, 42. Yeah. How old's Mahomes? Like 25?
25?
So that's like 17, 18 years there between the two of them. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl would have been in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's
we're
possible.
Doing some math here now.
Oh, man. Because if that's it, that's...
That changes it.
Patrick Mahomes turned 6 when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. Ooh. And he was in kindergarten.
There it is.
So,
yep.
I'll take it.
I'm going yes on that then, for sure.
That's why. Yep. And they're probably going to, kindergartens might go way over. Because I bet they don't just do Patrick Mahomes. They're going to do like everybody who was in kindergarten when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's going to be like Tyreek Hill was 4 years old. It's going to be like, yeah.
Yeah. So we're all taking the over on the kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's the one to bet. If you're listening to this before the Super Bowl, put money on that one.
Put money on that.
Yes.
So that's just some of the interesting one, guys. There's naturally the other one, the regular ones that you see every year. What color will the Gatorade bath be? Who will the MVP thank first? Family, team, fans, God, whatever it is. So some of the fun ones, and hopefully don't take our advice, but if you'd like to bet, try some of those ones and enjoy the game.
Dude, that's a good one. What do you guys what gets you excited about the Super Bowl this year? I don't know. I hate Super Bowl parties, so that's the thing I'm most excited about. Is I don't have to not go to any. I don't have to like tell people I have to make an excuse of why I'm not going to their Super Bowl party. But like, are you guys feeling different about this one? Do you feel weird about not being around a bunch of people or a couple people or whatever? I don't know. It's an interesting year for the Super Bowl because I'm excited, but like, I don't know. I know the whole, congregating with everybody and making all the food and stuff, that kind of bums some people out.
Yeah, I think like all of the food varieties, not having all of those is kind of a bummer. I mean, it's nice to not be worried about like something being eaten too much by some slob because I want to get it and I'm too focused on the game and they don't give a shit. So they're just over there like hogging the guac. So,
Call them out by name, Dan. Options. Call them out by name. Come on.
You know who you are. But for me, like I obviously love watching the game. And now we're going to want to pay attention to some of the stuff the announcers are going to say. And people talk, when you're at a Super Bowl party, people talk during the game, but people also talk during the commercials. And that pisses me off. And I hate that. I absolutely hate it because I want to pay attention to the commercials as well, just as much as the game, but I need to hear every part of the commercial. I don't need to just pick up on occasional words and things like that. So that's one blessing in disguise, is that I don't have to worry about anybody talking over the commercials or eating all the guac while I'm paying attention to a 4th down conversion in the second quarter.
Oh, specific.
Yes.
Very specific.
Yeah. Because in the 4th quarter, the guac's gone, right? And it starts to brown. So yeah, got to get it early.
I was actually, so I was thinking about this week about how, since we have a 6-month-old, I think like pandemic or not, I don't think we would have been doing the Super Bowl party. So I feel like on my end, it's not really a change for this specific event. It's not really, I don't think, too big of a change. Overall, I'm a fan of Super Bowl parties for the first half. And then like watch halftime and then I'm out after that. That's pretty much it for me because, I want to get to bed on time. I don't really care who wins all that much unless my team's in it and my team has not been in it in a long time. So that's kind of where I am.
Gotcha. But yeah, you still would have went. You would have went with the kid till halftime. Yeah. That's when everyone,
watch the halftime show.
Coast, the halftime. Yeah, the halftime dip on the East Coast that's serious. You just got to go. Just got to get out. It's too late. Because on the West Coast, it's not that way. I love the timing for the Super Bowl. Be on at like 3:30. Over around 6 something. Like, okay, let's get ready to watch Queen Latifah and the what is she? The Equalizer? I forget. I think that's what the show's called. I can't remember, but I was like, hey. I don't watch CBS shows. I'm not 85 years old, but you know what? I'm like, after the Super Bowl, I'll turn this bad boy on. Let's make it happen. All right. Well, keeping with the NFL, Jared Goff just got traded from the Rams to the Detroit Lions. The LA Rams to the Detroit Lions. Imagine waking up wherever you live, it doesn't matter. LA is just a drastic example, but just imagine wherever you live and just waking up and, I don't know, scrolling your Twitter feed, and all of a sudden you just see that you are moving to the exact opposite of the place that you live. And opposite in, I'm going to say a bad way.
Oh, yeah.
From LA to Detroit. I feel bad for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. It's like you go from being, I don't want to say he was the man in LA, but you're the quarterback for the team that anybody cares about, the NFL team that anybody cares about, and that's the Rams. And now you're going to Detroit, a team that nobody cares about in a city that nobody really cares about.
No, it's a poor one out for Jared Goff, if you would, this weekend. he took the Rams to the Super Bowl not that long ago, and he's had some struggles since then. But we'll talk about worst case scenarios. I mean, good for Matthew Stafford. You got to feel good for Matthew Stafford getting his ass finally out of Detroit and giving himself a chance to get into the playoffs, let alone win a playoff game. But Jared Goff, boy, this could just be the end for him. Going to a franchise, one of the worst franchises in the history of all sports, that has had 2 elite Hall of Fame players in Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders both say, I'd rather retire early than stick around for this horse shit because I'm sick of losing. And that's where Jared Goff has to go with this new lunatic head coach and try to make a career out of it. So please pour one out for Jared Goff. T's and P's, thoughts and prayers to you, my friend.
Ooh. There's a lot of layers to this one. I don't even think about this from a sports perspective. I just think like from a quality of life perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in professional sports if there is a worse change in living situation than going from LA to Detroit, Michigan. I can't, and to have it happen in February.
Yes.
You know, that is awful. And Jared Goff is from California. He's never left that state other than to play on a road trip when he knows he gets to go back to LA or California.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just
Buffalo maybe? Is Buffalo worse?
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Maybe in terms of like weather, they'd be worse, but in terms of quality of life, maybe they have a little bit of an edge to Detroit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But there are many that are worse.
I was thinking like Cleveland quality of life.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
But I think personally, I think that's better than Detroit. I would rather go to Cleveland than Detroit.
Joakim Noah's comments when he was still in the NBA, when they were playing the Cavs. He's like, why would anyone want to live in Cleveland? Just a bunch of factories. One of the greatest clips ever. Got to bring that back.
But like, I would choose Cleveland over Detroit. I would. I've been to both places. And I was thinking like the only other worse way to, I mean, maybe like Miami to one of those places is comparable.
Right.
But I feel so bad for Jared Goff.
Dude, just let me tell you what I did today, guys. As you guys are sitting there in the cold, I cut my grass today. Like I had to cut my grass today because it was, it was way too hot. I hadn't cut the grass since we moved here. Just got my lawnmower. So I cut my grass today and I was really bummed because when I walked outside, I walked out with a t-shirt, not thinking. And then I had to like go throw on like a hoodie real quick to cut my grass. And by the time I was done cutting my grass, the hoodie was off. I played in the water with my daughter today in LA. Jared Goff is going to Detroit.
The water's frozen there.
The water is frozen. There is no water in Detroit. It's frozen. There's snow. He's moving to Michigan from the place where we've been complaining about it being cold here. But like, it's like 70 degrees outside today. And you're moving from this to that. I stopped. The Jared Goff trade made me stop complaining about the weather that we've had over the last couple weeks. Maybe stop complaining because I'm like, at least I'm not Jared Goff. Because Jared Goff's not only in LA, but he's rich in LA. Like richer than you could ever dream of in LA. So like wherever Jared Goff's house is better than any place that I will ever live. And then he's moving to Detroit where he could buy a block with the money that he has his house in LA for. But like, dude.
The one caveat is at least Detroit plays in a dome because that's the one thing on game day you're indoors because places like Green Bay, Chicago, Buffalo, that's really nasty. That's New England. I love how New England, Matt Stafford he had a no trade clause, and he had one team on the list, and it was the New England Patriots. I love that, by the way. That was the one team. He said, no way. But poor Jared. Poor Jared. You gotta feel for him.
Poor Jared.
Speaking of Jared.
Oh no, 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 no. Too soon, Dan. Too soon. Oh God, too soon. Anyways, this is a terrible segue now. But boys, let's get our robes on. It's time for Brunch Court. We don't have a song yet, but we're gonna get there. Anyways, this is the first edition of Brunch Court, where we're gonna decide who is guilty, who is innocent in this case against Subway, where these people did a scientific study, which, my God, you had a lot of time on your hand to see if Subway's tuna was real tuna. And they say that it's not. Subway says that it is real tuna, and that is crazy, and it's a smear campaign against Subway. Boys, how do you rule in Brunch Court?
Has anyone here actually even tried the tuna at Subway?
No.
I've not. My wife loves it. She gets
really.
She loves the tuna at Subway.
It has never once crossed my mind that that's something I should get at Subway. So I guess there's not a lot of we don't have the information that the researchers have on this subject.
And that's the problem, is that they took samples from a variety of Subway restaurants in California and found that there was no actual tuna or fish in the tuna. It's just a concoction of things to taste and look like tuna, but they didn't divulge what they found. They just said it's not fish and it's not tuna. And like you said, Dee, Subway saying this is a smear campaign, and apparently the law firm that they're using has like a history of targeting food industry in chains like that to kind of make a name for themselves. And clearly their name is getting out there, because this headline was everywhere. But here's my thing. You shouldn't be allowed to sue Subway if you've made an independent decision to get a tuna sub there. You just shouldn't be allowed. If you've made that decision and you think that's the most delicious thing, and that's good to know, Dee, that Siobhan's at least had it. She loves it. But I think tuna is just disgusting anyways. So the fact that I'm siding with the tunites, the tuna lovers, Team Subway, man, I'm ruling in their favor that it's real tuna. You just shouldn't get it.
Well, yeah, I'm with you on that, Dan. I didn't know the background details. I appreciate that. And as I read a lot of research, not specific to tuna or Subway.
Not Subway's tuna's research. Oh.
But it always raises some flags when there's like potential conflicts of interest. And if this is, a group that has in the past gone after other food joints, okay, red flag right there. Red flag number 2. Well, they say it's not tuna, but they don't say what it is. So if they're saying that it's not tuna, but they can't say what it is, how do they really know that it's not tuna? You know what I mean? Like, let's have some specifics here, or else it's going to be a little hard for me to take you seriously. I guess I'm ruling in favor of Subway.
Well, that does it, guys, because I'm ruling in favor of Subway as well.
Ooh. I don't see that coming. I thought we were all going to go the other way.
Right.
Listen, the reason I have never in my life worked in fast food is because I don't want to know what goes on back there. I don't want to know how Taco Bell makes their tacos. I don't want to know how Wendy's makes their chicken. I don't want to know how McDonald's makes their burgers. I don't want to know. I just want you to hand it to me in a bag and I eat it, and that's it. I don't want to know anything else. So like with this one, it's the same way. I'm ruling in favor of Subway. You knew what you got when you signed up for it. If you want real tuna, go to the grocery store. Go get your tuna.
Go get your tuna in a can, you weirdo.
With Subway, listen, I'm ruling in favor because, hey, you know what you're doing when you signed up to get tuna at Subway.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, I thought I was going to be out on an island there. That's good to know. We're all Team Subway.
Subway.
Brunch Court.
All charges.
Yeah.
There's
Rules.
the gavel.
There it is.
There's the gavel. My black pen that's kind of broken.
Team Subway.
Gotta love it. Team Subway, Brunch Court. We'll solve all the food-related cases right here on Brunch Breakdown.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's get into it, guys, before we get out of here. What we are listening to. Boys, what are you listening to this week? What's got your ears going a little crazy? Chris, get us started. What you listening to?
So last week I put Hobo Johnson on the playlist, and due in part because I had been watching Tiny Desk, and I have since spun into a Tiny Desk wormhole, which is a pretty fun wormhole if you're ever looking to get yourself in a wormhole. But I watched Mac Miller's Tiny Desk, and number one made me really happy. Number two made me really sad, but he ended that performance with 2009, and he brought in strings to perform with them during the Tiny Desk performance. I guess they had their own strings, but they traveled, didn't work out. So they basically just like worked it out with this group of 3 women. They practiced once, like 10 minutes before they actually did the performance, and it sounded amazing. So that's a really now a hard song to listen to, but it's also a really, really good song. So I'm going to put 2009 on the playlist this week.
Dan, what are you listening to?
Blue to Tiger. I put her on the playlist a couple of weeks ago as she's starting to release music early in her career. I think the song was Figure It Out is what I put on the playlist, but she's kind of this singer, songwriter, DJ, performer, but she had all started with the bass guitar is what I talked about when I had her on the first time. And she released a new song this past week called Vintage, and it's still that, bass funk, almost bluesy pop type of jam with a nice, really catchy chorus in there. Part of her debut EP, which is coming out next month in March, which I'm very, very excited about, just hearing the couple of songs that she's released. She's got a bunch of covers too, which she does really well. So Blue to Tiger, Vintage for this week.
Nice. Well, since I'm keeping it with the Super Bowl, since the weekend is the Super Bowl halftime performer, I can't wait to hear this song on Super Bowl Sunday. Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. I know he's going to play it. I hope he does. I just hope he makes it weird. So Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. If you haven't listened to After Hours, it's incredible album. So check it out.
Yeah.
Nice. My second pick is trending on TikTok right now. Okay.
Ooh.
And who would have thought Michelle Branch would be trending on TikTok? But we're putting Michelle Branches everywhere on the playlist because that's just a damn good song.
Banger.
It is.
It's really good.
It is.
No complaints here.
Yeah. No, she should have been on one of our Now playlists, and I don't know how she didn't. I have no idea. That's something seems wrong there, but well deserved.
If anybody has any ideas on what type of TikTok I could make for 30 seconds of Michelle Branches everywhere, you just let me know.
There you go. Next up, I'm going to go with an artist named Lolo. Just discovered her within the past 2 weeks. She released a song called Lonely and Pathetic. She's an indie pop artist out of Toronto. And the song's kind of got this distorted electric guitar and kind of electro pop beats in the bed underneath it. And then the vocals, she kind of tells it like it is, raw type of lyric content, very catchy, super, super excited to hear more from her. When I stumbled on her, it was in this song in particular, I was really, really excited about it. Again, early on in her career, but Lolo and Lonely and Pathetic will go on the playlist this week.
All right. I'm going with Flo Milli, female rapper that I absolutely love, and she is not for the children to listen to. So I'm just letting you know that right now if this happens to come on the playlist. But Flo Milli, Roaring 20s, this song is amazing. It's like 2 minutes and like 20 seconds of just incredibleness. And I love Flo Milli, and she has the album title of like possibly the decade because it's called Ho, Why Is You Here? Anyways, Flo Milli, check it out.
I love it.
Well, speaking of why is you here, here comes the retro replacement for this week. And we can ask that same question. Why is this artist on the playlist? When's the last time you heard from 3-6 Mafia?
Wow.
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 Or 2, or 3, or 6. We're going to put Lolly Lolly on the playlist this week. Also, probably not for the children. But yeah, that's the song this week. And holy shit, there's a lot of names associated with that song. Did not realize it. There's like 24 featuring things going on there. Why not?
3-6. God, love 3-6 Mafia.
Amazing. My last one this week is going to be from Pale Waves. They've started to release a couple of singles for their new album releasing later this month. And, they're an indie pop group, if you will. And these newer songs have taken a kind of a surprising turn, not necessarily in a bad way, but there's a little bit of like an old school pop punk vibe here, Chris, that might interest you. Some like, there's female lead singer, so you kind of get some Paramore and even some Avril Lavigne vibes on some of the ones they've released so far this year. So less indie, more in that pop punk category, but still with their own little twist on it. So You Don't Own Me by Pale Waves. Again, very excited and interested for that album later this month, but their newest single off of that release this week will go on the playlist.
Nice. And I guess the last song for what we're listening to, retro, because we talked about it earlier in the show. Lil Boosie, Wipe Me Down.
There it is.
I can't believe that happened in this episode, but like, I just, no song makes me happier than Wipe Me Down. Like when I'm in a bad mood, that is on my like playlist that I need to I don't know. When I don't feel like grocery shopping, I put on Wipe Me Down. When I don't feel like doing something, it's Wipe Me Down. I just love Wipe Me Down. It gets me through all the things. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Your daughter plays it when she needs you to wipe her down. Just, it's just a household theme.
Exactly. And sometimes you do have to wipe down the shoulders, chest, pants, and shoes. It's disgusting. But sometimes you got to do it. Wipe me down.
It's fitting.
Shout #blowout life. Yeah, I guess. Wipe me down. Beautiful. Well, boys, any final thoughts today on the Brunch Breakdown before we get out of here, before it's Super Bowl Sunday and all?
Yeah, who do you guys got for the Super Bowl? Who's your pick?
Oh, Chiefs. I want the Chiefs to win by like 40. Like 40.
All right.
I don't even really want the game to be good. I just want one team to score a lot of points.
Yeah, the Chiefs, just because I've seen Tom Brady win enough already.
Yeah, same with me. I not only rooting for the Chiefs, but I do think that the Chiefs will win, and I do hope we have a good game for at least 3 quarters, and even a better halftime show. But I think we'll be talking next week. Naturally, we've got the commercials to go through, but I think there's going to be something else non-game related that makes a headline that we're going to be talking about next week regarding the Super Bowl. So,
that's another death prediction by Dan.
Yeah. No deaths this time, just a non-football related headline that we'll talk about regarding the game.
I think something in the Weeknd's performance will be the talk of his performance, and it won't be the Weeknd. Kind of like how the left shark thing for Katy Perry, and that became the star of her performance. I think something is going to be the talk, but it won't be the Weeknd. That's my future thought.
Maybe it's Kenny G. That would be it, right? Give me Kenny G for that remix, and I'll turn the game off. I don't even care.
Halftime, it won't matter. Whatever the score is, I'm done.
Kenny G just like on this floating rafter, and his hair is just like 50 feet long, just flowing down, and he's got the alto sax up there. Let's go. Make it happen.
Kenny G floating through the stadium with his alto sax. Oh, yes. My. Oh, just shut. if you want the best Super Bowl halftime show ever, The Weeknd, I know you listen to this podcast. I know you do. That's it right there.
That's it.
Floating Kenny G with ridiculous extensions flying through the stadium in Tampa. Let's go.
See, now, like, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be so pissed.
I know. We set ourselves up, though, for some letdowns. We'll hope for the
Chris.
best.
I think Tom Brady's going to get hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. No team has pressured Tom Brady as effectively as the Chiefs. So, and he sucks when he's pressured. So, let's do it.
That's true.
Who is Tampa Bay's backup?
Chad Henne. No, I don't know.
Ooh.
That's Patty Mahomes.
It's a phenomenal question.
I don't know. It's not Jameis, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know. If it were Jameis, they have a shot.
Wow.
Man.
Tom Brady getting hurt. Yeah, he likes his comfy, cozy pocket. Once that son of a bitch collapses, that could get nasty. I like it.
Well, it's going to be a fun week, and we'll be back here to break it down for all of you guys on the Brunch Breakdown that you can find literally everywhere, all over social media. Make sure you listen to the podcast and watch us on YouTube and on Facebook. Dan, Chris, see you later.
Yep.